hold completely still, no sudden movements. No, this isn't a joke. If it was, I wouldn't be holding a knife to your throat again. And this isn't some kind of act either. There would be no need while we're here in our hideaway. I'm being perfectly serious. Let me ask you a simple question. Did you tell anyone about us? Anyone? Well, I expected you to deny it. I wish I could just trust you at your word, but if I were the type of person to do that, I'd have been killed long ago. The problem is that Edward Blankmont, the head of the family in case you'd forgotten, asked me a multitude of questions about you just an hour ago. It is unusual, because he's never asked me in such detail about my missions before. Not since I became a fully fledged member of his family. He's always entrusted the details of my assignments to me. Well, obviously, I told him I was just taking my time. You're not an immediate threat, and it's normal for me to spend a long time preparing. It's not strictly a lie, and I'd rather he'd not know we're romantically involved, for obvious reasons. I have plenty of reason to suspect that you leaked information. Not directly to the Blankmonts, of course. You wouldn't want that any more than me. But if you were naive enough to say something to your idiot brother, he'd certainly be stupid enough to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if he sees you as a rival for your family's fortune. Do you deny that only 3 days ago you had a secret conversation with him? One you went to great lengths to avoid anyone overhearing. Don't play coy. You're not good at it. You got in a carriage with him, ostensibly for a relaxing evening ride. But the carriage took all sorts of unexpected turns and avoided areas with foot traffic. It was as if they were avoiding letting anyone follow them. I know because I was trying to follow. I certainly hope that doesn't come as a shock. If I in any way gave you the impression that I wasn't going to be keeping a watch over you, then it was completely unintentional. Well, if you didn't tell him, then what did you talk about? It was clear you were trying to hide some kind of secret. I can't decide if this is some sort of mind game or if you have gone insane. It's a secret. You're saying you can't tell me while I'm holding a knife to your throat. I wasn't expecting you to tell me that you were sharing our secret, but I thought you would at least try to make something up. That... I can't deny it. That's very sweet. Nobody's ever told me that they don't want to lie to me. In my line of work, lies are normally a given. But this is the worst possible time for this. I really want to be wrong. But I need to hear something believable if I'm going to trust you again. What could possibly be so important that you can't tell me? Honestly, I think I have no choice but to believe you. Nobody could lie about something like that with a straight face. And you do make a good point. I'd rather you were the type of person to keep a secret even if your life were at risk. It's a good trait, especially given our situation. I'm sorry for threatening you. You must understand, it's second nature for me to doubt people. As I said before, I wouldn't have lived very long as an assassin if I didn't foster a healthy bit of paranoia. But if it's not you, then I'm not sure what to think. I can't imagine any reason why Edward would suddenly bring up these questions. It's just... I just noticed the bag you're holding. What's in it? Oh, look at those. I thought I recognized the smell. I love those pastries. That was very thoughtful. But you didn't happen to get them from the bakery across the fountain, did you? So that's it. That explains everything. Of course, you couldn't have known. Well, I technically shouldn't be telling you this, but that bakery is a cover. The Blankmonts secretly own it. It's a safe house that I can use to lie low or stash supplies. They have other uses for it as well, but that's not relevant. Well, of course. Think about it. The Blankmonts assigned me to assassinate you. Then, one day, you show up at their safe house with an unusual order. That's far too many pastries for one person. There are many bakeries closer to your home. And as far as they know, you don't have anyone that you would meet in this part of town. Well, it would look to them like you're scoping out the place. They must be worried that the Norvales have caught on to the bakery's true purpose, perhaps because I slipped up somewhere. No, it's nothing to worry about. It was astonishing enough of a coincidence to catch their attention, but they'll soon come to the conclusion that it was nothing more. The Norvales wouldn't do something as foolish as sending their own family members to investigate an enemy safe house. I wouldn't worry about it. I know how the Blankmonts operate. We could stand to be a little more cautious than normal for a while, but we're safe. They won't suspect anything. No, I don't blame you. This is my fault for not telling you about the safe house. I didn't think it was likely that you would ever visit it, but given how close it is to our hideout, that may have been a short-sighted assumption. Goodness, what a terrible twist of fate that was. You stopped by the bakery on your way here to get a gift for me, expecting me to be so pleased. And instead, I sneak in the back entrance and threaten your life. I'm truly very sorry about that. Here, let's... Oh. Well, it's just that you flinched. You're still scared of me. I understand, but... Well, no, I don't understand. This isn't even the first time that I've threatened you. When I say that out loud, it suddenly doesn't sound so comforting. What I mean to say is, you know who I am. I'm an assassin and you're my target. I just don't see how you can act so surprised by this. Wait. Don't leave. I don't want to end the conversation this way. Please, listen. I acted in a perfectly logical way. Surely you do the same thing in my position. Really? You just trust me, just like that. But how can you say that? You'd be a fool to trust me. I certainly don't expect you to. It's not fair to ask each other to risk everything for the other like that. It's funny. I've heard people say that you need to be vulnerable in a relationship. That you have to put yourself in a position where you could be hurt in order to really love someone. I never really believed it, but... Well, the results certainly seem to speak for themselves. I thought I was making the right choice, and yet I threatened you over nothing, and now things are strained between us. If I was looking in from the outside, I'd consider that paranoia, not logic, and not the healthy sort of paranoia. I can't say I understand, or even agree, but I have to admit, I'm not entirely familiar with how this works. Don't get me wrong, I've been in relationships before. In a way, at least. They were fake relationships to get closer to my targets. I know how to go through the motions, but I don't have any idea how to make it real. That's what I want with you. So maybe I should let you take the lead on this. I've been in control of how things progressed between us the entire time up till now. But even I realize that that's not how this is supposed to work. Yes, show me how to be vulnerable. I'll do whatever you recommend, at least within reason. I do want things to work between us. I do like to think it's a good start, but I must confess that I'm not being entirely vulnerable by saying that. I am introducing a little risk by letting you control the pace from now on, but I'm still an assassin. I'm confident that I could sniff out a trap if you ever tried to set one for me. Yes, well, like I said, I need to learn. Baby steps, as they say. You know, before Edward Blankmont started questioning me, I had been thinking that I wanted to ask you, could we No, never mind. I realize that it's not really appropriate after everything that's just happened. Another time. For now, I don't suppose that you have an appetite. Those pastries aren't going to eat themselves.